Last time on Star Trek Online.
We are fighting a war on multiple fronts. We have to consider the Borg, the Undine, and the Romulans, as well as the Klingons.
I see now my deception has been exposed. Starfleet has lost too many ships and too many good men and women to a fight we now know was caused by Iconian and Undine influence.
Is that...
An Iconian gateway? Yes, I believe it is.
Into the gateway, now!
Are all those markers Iconian gateways?
Sir, we've been scanning the gateway. The monitors on the bridge are all showing an Omega.
Welcome to the Delta Quadrant. We are within the Solanae Dyson Sphere, a spherical structure built around a star.
We now know why the sphere generates vast amounts of omega particles. It is designed to use those particles as fuel to jump to any area of space.
It now appears that the Jenolan Sphere had the same jump capabilities as the Solanae and moved to this location.
You're not Cooper.
We will repel the Undine and survive to warn the Alpha Quadrant of the renewed threat. The Undine are a threat to us all. I propose a summit. We must decide together what we must do to protect the Alpha Quadrant. Our disputes may need to be put aside in the face of a greater enemy. Welcome to the Delta Quadrant. I will admit that I did not expect to be here with Voyager again. It is agreeable. Thank you for agreeing to attend this conference and supporting my position on the Undine. However, reaching a consensus today will be difficult. Many different agendas will be represented here today. I will speak to you in person shortly. Tuvok out.
Welcome to the Jenolan Dyson Sphere. Please beam down to these coordinates.
Good to see you. I'd say you're right on time, but it looks like everyone else wants to be fashionably late. We're still finishing preparations for the conference, and Admiral Tuvok is already there. The Klingon and Romulan delegates will arrive soon, so we should head inside as soon as you're ready.
Thank you for joining us here. We need assistance with preparations for the conference. The Romulan and Klingon delegations are still in private deliberations, but other delegates are arriving. Several preliminary tasks remain before we can begin the presentation. Your support in this matter would be appreciated.
Where do you want me posted, sir?
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 This Cardassian thug is trying to push Bajor out of this conference. We have as much of a right to be represented here as any other world, more than the Cardassians. They're not even part of the Federation or the Klingon Empire.
I simply pointed out that as a Federation member world, Bajor has no need to send an independent diplomat to this conference. After all, Bajor has no separate planetary interests that would require their attendance here. The Federation speaks for them. I wouldn't exactly say that the state of Bajor inspires much confidence. else. After all, it is a Cardassian space station that the Federation uses to police the wormhole. Even so, the state of security at the wormhole is far from ideal. The Dominion has taken control twice now, hasn't it?
The Federation has never made a policy of preventing member worlds from overseeing their own interests in conjunction with Federation efforts. Or is Bajor going to be treated differently than other member worlds?
Well, since you put it that way, I suppose I'll just take my seat.
The preliminary tasks are complete. You should speak with Admiral Tuvok again.
I'm glad to have you here. This conference is a significant opportunity for our people. But given our relatively new position, I feel it can be hard to get the other galactic powers to see us as anything more than helpless refugees. That needs to change. Please follow me to the conference room. I have a feeling we have a long day ahead of us.
It is my sincere hope that the Romulan Republic will join the galactic community in addressing the threat posed by the Undine. This is also an opportunity to open dialogues regarding other pertinent matters. I would recommend assisting your pro-council while we complete our final preparations. The talks will begin shortly.
I have some concerns about this conference, but I am sure that you will be able to allay them. My only goal is to ensure that our people's desires are not overlooked. I would be gratified if you would assist me with the following issues. What transpires at this conference may not be accurately represented later. In order to prevent other parties from abrogating their agreements, place recording devices so the Republic will have its own records of what transpires here. This will not only protect Romulan interests, it will protect our allies. As a neutral party with full records, this conference should not be a new source of conflict for the Klingons and Federation.
By a great deal of posturing. The sooner it is over with, the sooner we can return to defending the Empire.
I am gratified to see the Klingon Empire recognizes the importance of this conference. It is time that we reached an equitable position with regard to the threat posed by the Undine. I would recommend assisting your ambassador while we complete our final preparations. The talks will begin shortly.
The Federation is too busy with bureaucracy to begin promptly. How typical. Consider this an opportunity to see to the Empire's interests in this venue. Talk to the other delegates and intimidate the other attendees in order to ensure they take the Klingon commitment to this war seriously. Take this opportunity to look for distinctive devices and scan Jenolan Sphere technology.
I admit that I'm quite surprised at how smoothly this conference is proceeding. This conference may represent a new opportunity to revitalize both morale and productivity throughout the quadrant. While the Union may have suffered some reversals, we still have much to contribute. After all, we were able to challenge both the Federation and the Klingon Empire when we were allies with the Dominion. Although, that difficult time is now past.
This conference looks like an excellent opportunity for mutually profitable dealings. If the Federation, the Klingons, and the Romulans can all agree on something, then any sort of cooperative accord will open the door to new trade agreements, shipping routes, and technology deals. What's that supposed to mean?
Survey team still on track for the next grid, but we don't want to disrupt any power relays while we're in this dark part of the sphere.
Of the conference security, we don't want the Romulans to think that we're...
The preliminary tasks are complete.
Thank you for your assistance. Please take the opportunity to speak with the various delegates. Having an understanding of the positions of each representative will facilitate more effective negotiations.
The Federation's position is quite clear. We believe the only way to safeguard the future of the Alpha and Beta Quadrants is for all of the galactic powers to behave as reasonable entities and work together to oppose those who would threaten our worlds. It doesn't matter if that threat comes from the Undine, the Borg, or the Iconians. The response is the same.
The Xindi are here to support Admiral Tuvok's call for cooperation. We know what tragedies befall a people who are being manipulated by outsiders, as we once were. The Undine's lies and manipulation remind us of the Sphere Builders, whose deceptions led us to make one of the greatest mistakes in our history. There are 5 races on my world. We all know reaching a consensus can be difficult, but the Xindi are living proof that if we put aside animosity, our differences can make us stronger.
I sincerely hope that the Federation is not wasting our time here. If your presentation is to explain the threat posed by the Undine, let me spare you the effort. The Klingon Empire has been aware of this threat for quite some time now.
Thank you for the invitation. Starfleet certainly knows how to organize their meetings on a grand scale. I trust that the Republic will be able to take a leadership role in studying this sphere. The extensive knowledge we've gained from the Solanae Sphere should give us an advantage here. And, after all, the gateway that leads to both of these spheres is in Republic space. Yes, the Undine. Very interesting. My security advisors have been looking over the data, and we are all very curious to hear what you and Admiral Tuvok have to say on the matter.
You've spoken with representatives of all of the delegations. You should return to Admiral Tuvok.
We are almost ready to begin. Will you complete the final preparations for the conference while I speak to Captain Sean? After that, your assistance in encouraging everyone to take their seats would be appreciated. The Undine represent a clear and present danger to not only the Federation, but also the Klingon Empire and Romulan Republic. The damage done here by a mere handful of ships is clear evidence for the need for cooperation.
With respect, Admiral, the Romulan Republic is quite capable of leading exploration and security measures here, just as we have led efforts to secure the Solanae Sphere. My militia.
I find it interesting that the Federation suddenly has concerns about the Undine now. Where was the Federation when the Empire discovered Undine infiltrators in the Alpha Quadrant? Or is the Federation only interested now the Undine threatens something you want?
Given the exceptionally complicated nature of such...
Ambassador, given what we now know, that was a mistake. The Empire recognized the Undine threat years ago. We didn't.
You admit you are wrong?
The evidence provided by Admiral Tuvok and his team is sound.
Thank you, Captain Sean. However, dwelling on past mistakes will not solve the problems of the present.
Our fleet stands ready to protect both spheres from the Undine.
The Undine can wait. We have more important business to discuss. Who owns this sphere? I represent a consortium of businessmen on Ferenginar. We are prepared to invest significant venture capital into transforming this sphere into a vacation destination to rival Risa. I have a proposal of 500,000 bars of... What's that?
Tuvok to Voyager. Report.
A massive fleet of Undine vessels just appeared from a rift. They're setting a course for the gateway.
The Undine? What do they want?
Unknown. Direct to Lisette. Track their course.
Enterprise to Captain Sean. We're receiving a distress signal from Earth's space dock.
Sean to Federation Fleet. Red alert. Prepare for immediate departure.
The Federation is our enemy, but the Undine attack like assassins in the night.
We will crush the Kamikuv!
Species 8472 is already boarded Earth space dock. Once we are through the gateway, we must render assistance as soon as possible.